of these miles of barrier for us.
And so I believe what you're referring to in the barriers was the discs that were placed in between each of the barriers that the state of Texas put into place. Those discs were anti-tamper discs. What we did is, as we developed it out, we've created a way to create the same anti-deterrence or anti-tampering deterrence without having the disc in there. And so the system still works the same as far as how it sits on a ratchet system. As you try to climb up onto the buoys, they roll backwards, preventing you from being able to climb on. And then we've also found that using the more cylindrical instead of the circular, we get better flotation, which helps us maintain better control of the buoys. So what we've done is we've, over the last year, improved the buoy system that was being placed in the river in Texas, under the state of Texas, and worked with these. But they function the exact same way.
Yes. So a couple of questions there. You asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased. We're continuing to gather more information, but this goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism. We're working with the Department of Justice to prosecute them as such. We will continue to protect our ICE officers and in cooperation with other law enforcement agencies as well. You've seen me in the last couple of days deploy over 2,000 more officers to the Minneapolis area. And in the last 2 days, we've arrested hundreds and hundreds of dangerous criminals. Not just fraudsters who stole from the American people billions of dollars and put it in their pockets and enriched their friends from overseas and themselves, but also individuals who committed acts of murder and rape and trafficking and drug exploitation and child exploitation. So we're going to continue to do our work. And I want to remind everybody that the act like we saw today of using a vehicle to try to kill an officer and his colleagues and the other people around him is something that every politician, every elected official, everyone in this country should be able to rally around and say that it is wrong. And that sanctuary cities and sanctuary states that protect individuals who do that should no longer be allowed. That those individuals that are in leadership positions in these sanctuary jurisdictions need to work with us to make sure that every single person that's out there enforcing the law can be safe, but also so that all of our citizens can continue to be safe too. Domestic acts of terrorism like this will not stand, and I'm grateful that we have the leadership in Washington, D.C. that recognizes it, and will make sure that it's working to keep every single community safe, regardless of who's in charge in that city. President Trump gets up every day and will work to keep people safe, whether they're in a red state or a blue state or in a city that has a Republican mayor or a mayor that has a Democrat mayor. He's going to fight for every single American to make sure they live in a safe community and can raise their kids without fear. Yes. Well, that's simply not happening. So it's just not true. We are focused on going after the worst of the worst in every community across this country to make sure that we're making our streets safer. And anyone who is a citizen of this country or is here legally has nothing to fear, has nothing to get out of bed in the morning to be scared of, because we are only enforcing the law. If you are in violation, if you have perverted one of our programs in order to be here illegally, absolutely. You may be held accountable for that action. But that individual and those businesses don't have anything to fear if they're following the law. Sure. I don't think that we're going to see any less people in detention or in immigration court, because we've still got 15 to 20 million people that are in this country illegally. And so if they don't leave on their own voluntarily and partner with us, I'll remind you all, everyone who wants to go home to their country, we will get you a ticket. We will give you $1,000 and we will help you get there. And you get the chance to come back to the United States the right way. If you wait till we detain you, then you'll never get the chance to be an American citizen. So I think that having a secure border is incredibly important, but we will probably still continue to see detainment centers and immigration courts quite full and being utilized extensively because of the devastation that Joe Biden put on this country. By allowing that many people to come into our country unvetted, we have no idea the amount of dangerous criminals that are here. I'll go to you. Yes. Overwhelmingly, the Venezuelans that I've heard from and talked to are excited about the changes that they see in their country. It is never a bad thing to have a murderous, vicious dictator removed from power. They have more opportunities to go back to their country and have it be more successful and provide for their families today than they did a week ago when Maduro was still in charge. So today's a good day, and we'll continue to do all we can to partner with Venezuela to help it be successful. Yes. Oh, nothing's hard about this job. My favorite thing to do is to solve problems and meet challenges. So President Trump and this country are the greatest gifts that I think we have right now, because we were handed a mess. And this country, and people are desperate for some hope and some opportunity to remind themselves of what being an American is all about. So I am very blessed every day that I get the chance to get up and work with law enforcement officers, work with people who take an oath to put their life on the line for their fellow brothers, and I absolutely love it. Yes, sir. You know, my understanding is that Hilton has severed their franchise relationship with the owner of the hotel that we saw disrespecting our law enforcement so much. My hope is that hotel owners and franchises across the country would recognize this as an opportunity for them to bless our law enforcement officers. When you see them in your communities, support them, support their families, maybe give them an opportunity to have a chance to stay at your hotel, and maybe make them some eggs in the morning, give them some toast and juice, and shake their hand and pray over them as they go out the door that they'll be safe while they do their work. I know that when you turn on the news every day, it sounds discouraging, but our law enforcement are the perfect example we can point to for our kids of the kind of Americans we should all want to grow up to be like. Yes. Well, I'll travel. So the State Department always works on all travel documents and flight arrangements for every country when we return individuals back to their homes. We'll continue to do that and let the State Department do that. We have those in detention that may be from Venezuela that will submit their paperwork to the State Department, just like every other individual across the world, and make sure they get home as soon as possible. We'll continue to evaluate every situation in every country and always make sure that we're putting Americans first. You'd have to ask the State Department. Other questions? Yes. Oh, one more? Go for it. Mm-hmm. You know, I would say that it sends a clear message to the rest of the world that when President Trump says something, he means it, and he'll take action to defend this country. We have been busy communicating that with world leaders, where we've seen a lot of our illegal alien and criminal population come from. I'm grateful that not only do they know that we speak a lot of words and that we try to build relationships, but also if you violate our laws, if you threaten people, and if you don't follow what international law is as well, then there will be consequences. Okay. Oh, yep, last one. I think our law is our law. If there's a congresswoman that has an idea, then absolutely, that's the proper process if she does not agree with where we stand on immigration policy today. Congress is elected to debate and to be thoughtful and to create policy and then vote on it and create statute. If she has an idea, her colleagues in Congress and the White House are more than interested in talking about it and see if it's something that America